All right. Good afternoon, bro.
Good afternoon, sir.
I beg, what be the name again?
Abdul Wahab customer.
Abdul Wahab. Okay. So you're welcome to Voice of Legon. We are happy to have you here today.
Thank you very much. I'm also glad.
Within last week, I saw a video that you made at the maths department, and you were talking about how difficult it is to, go through the maths department. People who are University of Ghana students who have passed through the maths department will attest to this fact. But your story was one that captured our attention because it's been a lot of years that you have been on campus. It's been a whole lot of challenges that you have faced, and by God's grace, you're about to graduate. So I want to use this opportunity to say congratulations, Charlie. You do we do. A lot of people would have given up on the way, but Charlie, you do so. All right, Wahab. So, how many years did it take you to complete?
Took away 3 years. That was my call. We were supposed to actually graduate in 22, but I graduated this year. That was in February. The February congregation, I was part of it.
You were supposed to graduate in 2022, and we are in 2025. Wow, extra 3 years.
Yeah.
What's the backstory?
So apparently, when I came to the University of Ghana level 100, my department was smooth because when I say it was smooth, not all that smooth, but it was a mirage of what we are actually expecting. You come in with a certain mindset that you realize that now the way you are seeing it is not, the picture doesn't depict it that way. Then you are in the reality. What you are supposed to do is just to endure. Simple and short. So fast forward, I had my first receipt at level 400.
First receipt in level 400. So level 100, 200, level 300, no receipts.
Then my first receipt, level 400, first semester, that was
What course was that?
complex analysis and functional analysis. Yeah, complex analysis deals with these complex numbers.
The name we've been saying is something complex.
3 plus 2i and all those kind of stuff. We had a way of doing it. And then that was the first semester. The second receipt came in our second semester. When we're done, we went home. I went back to Tamale and I was there. And, they released all the results. It was left with that particular course called topology. Topology deals with theorems of numbers. That you don't even see numbers in there, but they are just letters that you are supposed to bring in the theories to actually make sense. And that was it. I had an F in topology, and it was a surprise to me because it wasn't a course that I thought I could get an F, but maybe if not, at least D. But it happened, it was an F.
Wahab, was that a first semester course or a second semester?
It was a second semester.
A second semester. So, prior to that, there was no F, there was no receipts.
So the first semester receipts, the two, that the functional analysis and complex,
which were those ones were in first semester.
So I wrote them and I had my way with them.
As at level 400 second semester, I had all receipts.
Then the results were coming. Second semester, the results were coming. Legon will reduce it bit by bit. The results kept coming in. It was okay. Then that was the last paper. Receipt, registering for receipt was over. Then it came F. That was nice.
How was the feeling? Because if you get an F in second semester in your final year, that automatically tells you that you are not going to be part of the graduating class.
I had my tailor ready to actually sew my graduation dress. So you could see how prepared I was. And in my life, the one thing that I had always wanted to do was to wear the gown and throw that hat. Like, it was a dream. So moving through the school, the one part of the journey in my school that I adored the most was the final year that I know that this is going to be a dream come true for me. Then the results came. I called my friends. I thought maybe it might be a general problem. I called my friends and said, oh, there was this guy who was actually good in the course. And before the exam, we had a group studies. But he said, oh, I had an A. I said, okay, that's fine. I had F. So, I'm sorry. That was just what people say. And I went back to the room and I was sitting. It wasn't about me, but it was about the people that brought me here. What am I going to tell my brother that I'm not actually going to graduate with the P? I'm not graduating. Oh, you started with it. That's, they know that I'm supposed to finish this year and maybe start looking for a job, but I'm not graduating this year. what will I tell them?
The disappointments and all those.
Yeah. But no, I just had to swallow it, go and let them know that, oh, there was this course that I didn't actually make it in. But I'm hopeful that when I'm done with my service, I'll get back and get it done.
What was their response when you told them about this information?
Okay, so they are not so much into school. I mean, they are not that educated, so they don't know what that means. You fill the course, then you get it done, then you graduate. They don't actually understand it in the context of someone who knows how education systems works. That, oh, you weren't serious and you failed. You know, some of our parents who understand education, they feel like sometimes when you fail, maybe you didn't learn enough and you went in. But they just took it as, oh, since you are going to get it done and graduate, then that's fine. Just make sure you do it in a hurry, such that when an opportunity comes, it doesn't pass by.
So when you had that F in the course, was there a point where you wanted to give up on your university education?
Oh, there was.
So tell me more about that.
There was. Because I went back home, and that was 2022, when everyone was graduated. On that particular graduation day, I was there viewing I was viewing the status. That was March 28th, 2022.
So anything.
Yeah. They were here and there and all those stuff. I felt like, for me, it's done for me. For me, it's done for me. I'll show you this picture when so that day I made a promise to myself that on the day of my graduation, I'm going to celebrate like the way Cristiano Ronaldo did in Manchester United. No, like he did this.
Finally.
Finally. And I said Alhamdulillah, because that's the dream.
It's a long journey.
It's a long journey, and it has happened. So when I started my service in 2023 at University for Development Studies, which was quite interesting and a nice experience. I was there, my friends, they are done with school. So, some are applying schools, some are they are going outside to study. And what made it hit me the most, then later I came to understand that everyone in the time was people that you were there, level 100, you did group studies with them, that maybe you were able to lead them in the group studies, let them understand the basis, and now they are leaving.
So there were people you taught.
Yes.
They were came to courses and they were graduating before you.
Yeah. So, you know, even the Mass 1, 2, 3 I spoke about, even though it wasn't that easy, but for me, I had a good lecturer, Peter Aqua. So he taught us well. Maybe I'll give you my results so that you can display it in addition.
Okay.
So that they will know that, oh, not that I failed in that particular course, but it pulled my ears. It made me doubt myself. It made me sit in the room from morning to midnight. My roommate telling me to go and sleep, and I would say, no, if I don't get it, if I don't understand it, I'm not leaving it. So with that consistency, Mass 1, 2, 3, I was good with it. So back to when the people that are led in group studies, some of them moving out, then just like, why is it that along the line I lost my purpose or what? So it made me doubt myself, but moving forward,
down.
Yeah, but moving forward, I realized that maybe that's the way for now. Find something that will make an impact. That will give you hope to hope for tomorrow. So I did that, and I started some few things. And though today I'm here, but maybe if I had graduated in 2022, I wouldn't have some of the things that I have today, you know.
Okay. And I want to also ask this question. You mentioned that the Maths 1, 2, 3 that you talked about in your video, the video that caught our attention, you mentioned that that course was not the most difficult course you've experienced in the university. So I want to find out, throughout your time at the maths department, which course has been very challenging for you?
It's the course I failed. That
you failed 3 courses.
I failed 3 points. It was the second one. The first 2, I don't know, but in level 400, I wanted to actually divert my path. When I say divert my path, I mean from level 100 to 300, it was all the classroom. I go to classroom, I come out, I come, no friends. Even though in my hall, I made friends with whoever I was. I was with Jimsa, I attended Jimsa programs, but moving an extra further to actually maybe go into student politics, join my whole politics, like GCR. I even stood for the mass departmental president, and after voting, I stepped down. And my colleagues was asking me that why. It was, oh, if it comes to vote in there, I know you win because you know people a lot.
We'll come to the politics side, the student leadership side, and all those, so that you can tell us.
Level 4, and then what made me feel was I started attending programs.
But which one was the most difficult?
Topology.
Topology. Wow. Topology. Tell us a bit about topology, okay, and how you managed to eventually pass it, and how many years did it take you? Because if you failed topology in 2022, we were expecting that maybe you would have written it in 2023. So is it that you waited till 2025 to write it, or you started writing from 2023 and you weren't getting the good results that you wanted?
So with topology is just assimilation of theorems. They put things together and they will tell you that in our junior high schools or in our senior high school, they will tell us that they can tell you that you have an open set. A set is open. But you have a set that is closed. But in topology will tell you that a set can be open and closed at the same time. So that was the first time we heard that. So that kind of contradicts. It's not this one. It cannot only be this one. It can be this, but it can be both again. So that's theorems. You put theorems together. If a set is compact and a set is Hausdorff, then prove that a subset is Hausdorff or compact. That was just that was what topology was made up of. And talking about what was the other,
how many years did it take you? Were you writing it every year, or you waited till 2025 to write it?
So when I was done in 2022, I went back to another region to start my national service at VUDS. So the whole of 2023 was my service year. Then 2024 was...
You didn't register for it?
I didn't register. 2024 was the year I said, okay, I have to get this done. Then I registered for the course, and I was supposed to write the paper on February 13th. Then I came to school. This was the link. I came to the school I came to the school on January 20th. I arrived in Accra, because I knew if I was going to be at home, other distractions and all those stuff. So from 20th to 12th of February, it was always on the book.
Topology.
I remember I used about 5 rough books. Rough work. Exercise was 5. Exercise was 5.
Just practicing for topology.
Just practicing for topology.
And would you mind to share the grade you got at the end of that hard work?
Okay, I had G, but for me, I believe because the questions that came were questions I've seen before in my studies, and it came with possible ways that it could be solved. So even though I had D, but I felt maybe it was because I delayed enough to write it. That was why I had a D.
How was the feeling when you finally had the D?
This feeling, like you can know the feeling. Like it's just something that everyone was waiting for. Because when it did that way, I had colleagues and other stuff. I went on my searches and I wrote Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Or maths departments will make it celebrated the
year never. Then my first step was I had a D in the course, so I'm graduating. I had a D in the course, I'm graduating. But before they dropped the results, I even went through something that one. I don't even want to talk about it. But Alhamdulillah, I had a D, and that was it. It was really, that's what we went through. So when I say so I wrote the exams in February, and I was expecting the results
2024.
And I was expecting the results to come earlier because I was the only one who wrote that particular course.
It was a research. It wasn't okay. So the supplement was the only one that was the who wrote it. February 2024.
So the lecturer brought the paper in there. I was sitting there. He gave it to them. That was CC.
He sat in CC alone.
No, when it is bid by bid, when people are writing courses and there are not many, they put them, they outline them. So this is for maybe agri students, this is for the math student, this is for social sciences. So where they end, another people start.
A lot of people were writing their writing because our biology were the only one
writing. So I sat there, they brought the paper. He was standing there. After writing the paper in February, I thought, oh, since I'm the only one, I should come earlier. The course waited and waited till the students that were even supposed to graduate. So their results were even released. And I was still waiting for my anthropology results.
Students that were supposed to graduate in 2024.
You know, that was supplementary. That means that they have finished it first semester. So they came with second semester. They are done. Their results were done.
But yours was not in still.
Anthropology was still not.
So if the results had been released earlier, you could have graduated with the 2024 class.
No, for the 2024, it was already scheduled that they were going to graduate in 2025.
Yeah, class of 2024 graduated in
2025. So I graduated with them. But my worry was the course is unpredictable, even though I know what I wrote.
So I wanted to come early so that
I'll know, even if I'm not making it again, then that means this time around I have to register it as main visit and come and get it done. It didn't come.
All right, so to educate us, the supplementary receipt is you register and then you just write the paper. You just write the final exam. So you don't really be a part of the people who attend class. And if I am right, you don't really attend lectures and all this. But if you register for main receipt, you get to be a part of those who are actually having the coursework. So if you attend a lecture,
Yeah,
it would be writing IEs and then all the papers, all the text and those. But in my perspective, I feel like main receipts are easier to pass because you get to go through the course with other people. You get to have course mates who are able to help you in your studies and all this. But you decided to choose the supplementary receipt, which is more like which is what led to you writing the topology paper alone. So what influenced that decision to write supplementary?
So I don't know if I can also ask you a question.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So have you ever had a receipt before?
A receipt? No.
That's it. So if you get a receipt, you realize that you don't feel the course because you don't understand the course. Sometimes you feel it because maybe you have to look certain stuffs.
Oh yeah,
and that was what came into
that. Is actually true because I have had experiences with people who had to write receipt because probably around the exam period they were not well and then they couldn't communicate well. So to their departments they had to, and then there were people who were also going through some emotional stuff. I have a friend who in our level 300 period, she lost her dad prior to an exam, and because of that, I mean, you know, the emotions that comes to play when you lose a family relation or a close relation. So because of that, she couldn't pass one of her papers and she had to write a receipt and all this. And this is someone who was a very good student. So I understand receipts are not really.
So that's why I just said, okay, now I can actually get it done by myself. Then I registered that I just had to go through my works to see how it was done, to get it more, more refined for the exam.
So about that, what do you say about the delay in the release of supplementary results? Because this is clearly a case of the delay in results affecting you greatly. You get it? People write receipts and then they want to see their results early so that if it goes if it's a positive outcome, okay, we thank God. But if it's negative, then they can start preparing ahead. But this is your case that you were left in a dilemma because you didn't really know if you had to go back to your books and then start preparing or if you had to go ahead with something else in your life. So about that, what would you recommend or suggest that the school and then the lecturers do about the release of results?
Yeah, for the release of results, I don't know why it normally takes time. And I understand that we are normally, we are
The number
by a lot. But at least before a semester starts or before receipt and supplementary receipt registration of these things, and we should actually at least know our fit.
Okay.
Not that they should do it in a hurry, but they should also help us to know our fit so that we know that we are graduating or we are not. And also in UDS, they have this system that if a level 400 student fails, then they have a short period of time that they can allow them to register for that particular course. If they pass it within that, then they get to graduate.
Okay.
I don't know if
Before the class graduates.
so. Let's take it that today the UDS they are graduating. Those people or some people who fail their level 400 courses, then they are going to set they are going to open register so that they will pay, and if they register, you make the lecturers set the exams. Then they'll know their fate before the graduation, so that they can include them in their year batch graduation. So I don't know if UG can also work around that. If I'm in level 400 now and my results come and I get an F, there should be a way. Imagine the results came, I don't know, I can't remember when our results came, but they were graduating in March. If there could be that particular system,
That
even
allows you to write and
maybe maybe in January or something, I can come and I'll write it. Then if I pass, then I get to graduate with my people in March. That would have helped.
yeah. Would you say the maths department is the most difficult department on campus? Or most difficult? It's even more than the computer science and those reading, medicine, accounting, and all this. You say maths, but
So, if you ask the computer science students, so if you come in level 100 those days, you have mathematical science. And mathematical science is the combination of mathematics, computer science, statistics, actuarial science. And some people, we had this biomathematics, but biology and mathematics. These were the combinations. So before you can even choose to do whichever combination you want to do, we are still going to do mathematics at level 100.
that's for computer science students.
Everyone in this particular category have counted. And for the computer science students, I would say they are even math students, just like we those who did math. Because I did math with computer science. And the reason why I blended math with computer, I came to this school directly to do computer science. But I said, if you are the computer science department, you are basically a math student because you still do calculus 1, calculus 2, discrete mathematics, and all those stuff. And most of the people that wanted to do computer science didn't like mathematics. But if you choose computer science, you are inevitable from that. So I would say that for them, they know that if you ask them, most of them, even some of them who haven't graduated to the maths department, that affected them, not the computer science department. And the other side that I can see it might be challenging like the maths department is the engineering department.
Yeah.
But that's also
engineering.
yes, but that also
And the funny part is they are all at the same area. The
right.
department is here and then see it. I mean, some people even call is it the Bermuda Triangle? It's a school of engineering, material science, and so it is
the maths,
computer
science, and statistics. In statistics, it was statistics and bodies accuracy. So that's the triangle.
You should experience the Bermuda Triangle and find yourself in that. If you want to challenge yourself in academics, you might want to explore these areas on the University of Ghana. You have it experience. You can experience firsthand what Wahab is talking about. So Wahab, before we delve into your political life on campus, you mentioned that you ran for some positions and all those on campus. Okay, Wahab. So before we delve into your political life on campus, you mentioned that you ran for. I don't know if you
mathematics department.
yeah, I don't know if you actually ran for the election, but you mentioned you had intentions of becoming president for your department and all this. We'll come to that. But before we delve into that, would you say that lecturers at the maths department contribute in any way to how difficult it is for students to pass through the maths department, or is just the coursework that is difficult for you guys?
It's the coursework, I would say, because they do their best.
The lecturers do their best. It's all
The switch from numbers to letters is mostly what causes this that we are actually experiencing at the maths department. From junior to senior high school, it's numbers that we have. Then when you go to set, then they say two set problem. You have the numbers. Then you already have the formulas, area of a circle, volume of a cylinder. You come here, they give you the letters and they are telling you can use integration to prove the formula that you are used to find the area of a circle. That's pi r squared. You actually prove it and you said, okay, now this is how they divided in the circle. Then they took each part. After that, they multiply by 4 because you can divide into 4 quarters. Then after multiplying by 4, that's when you get pi r squared for your area. And now moving from numbers to letters and making letters, allowing letters to give you, what's the name? Letting letters give you numbers.
Like the letters are now representing
the numbers, because that's basically what you are going to deal with. In math 1, 2, 3, you are using, even though they are vectors, it's numbers that you are going to, it's letters that you are going to deal with. In topology, you don't even see numbers there, theorems. You are going to use the English. If you don't understand the English of the theorem, there's no way you are going to prove it. So basically, they do their best, but sometimes some of them too, they understand the concepts and how to give it to us. It's also another thing. How do you give letters to someone? That's also another problem.
Okay. Was it your decision to study maths at the University of Ghana when you were done with high school, or there were some circumstances that was it?
It was my decision. I chose mathematical science. When I came, I said, oh, since maths is under 8, and in senior high school, maths was one of the courses that even if I don't learn, I know that I'm going to get 1 in it or A in it. So I thought that I knew what we call mathematics, or it was something that I could just use my passion to actually find my way around. But along the journey, I realized that even though I don't regret studying it, but I didn't get it.
Wahab doesn't regret studying maths. Okay, but okay, so this is the case that is what you actually wanted to do. So after your years at the University of Ghana, if you had to choose a different course, and instead of reading mathematics at the University of Ghana, if you had to choose a different course, which course would you have?
Statistics.
Since you really love to challenge yourself, because we just mentioned that the Bermuda Triangle is made of actuarial science, statistics, and maths departments, and you are moving from maths departments to statistics. What's the inspiration, or what's the...
So statistics, for me now, I believe I should have combined statistics with mathematics. Even though I had friends who did that, and I'm loving what is happening. Statistics is what research nowadays is all about. You go out there, you get your data, then you are supposed to actually analyze the data, and you need statistics. So everything in the world now is mathematics, not basically more of mathematics, but basically more of how you can analyze that particular numbers, and that's statistics. So that's what I am looking at it. So
I would also want to learn a bit about your political journey. You mentioned in level 400 when you decided to go into student politics, it also in a way affected you. We have a lot of student leaders on campus who probably sharing this experience too, but we have you now and we get to hear from you. Take us through the journey from how it began and then how it affected you, and an advice you would give to people who want to go into UG student leadership. What should they do and what should they not do?
Yeah, so what I was trying to say was I would have wished I went into that, because I didn't. I only started at the maths department. I wanted to be the maths president and did flyers, political campaigns and all these stuffs. I also didn't know at the maths department because, let me say, I was stubborn and all those stuff. So they know me, even the Levanders and all those stuff. So, but when the flyer came, then we went for vetting. It was after my vetting that I decided to even drop out. After the vetting, then we were certain that, we were only 2 people vying for the TMS president, that's the Mathematics Society president. And after the vetting, I decided to back down. And later, after graduating and going back home, that's a decision that I regretted, and I wish I had pursued that just to see how that one would have been.
Were you discouraged? Your reason for stepping down?
I just felt that wasn't it. I just felt I wasn't here to actually do anything apart from studying. But when I left, I realized that a lot of things and bodies come into the university.
Okay. So I did some research about you before we came here, and I realized that you are an advocate for men's mental health and all this. Over time, what we mostly see and then hear about our conversations about women's mental health, championing the women agenda. That is what most of the times we hear about. But I see you do something different. the motivation? What is motivating you to do this? And can you tell us a bit about it?
Okay. So in my educational life, I've not gotten it easy. I remember when I was to come in level 100, my brother had to borrow money to pay my admission fee before I could come. There are no agencies that actually support the boy child. So for me, it has always been about my friends and the family I have. And we always see it, maybe them advocating for this for women and all those stuff. So I felt that, I always feel that we also need it. In as much as we have a lot of men actually in higher positions. But we shouldn't forget that the boy child is also still growing and needs that particular support. That's how it has been. It hit me most when I actually went back. When I wasn't graduating and I went back into my room and I was like, so who is actually there to actually feel how I'm feeling? Is it okay for a man to cry? Because we are born and raised that men don't cry. Even when you are in a deep situation, you can actually show the emotional aspect of it.
No sign of weakness.
Then it becomes a problem. When you show it, then it's gonna be like you are not man enough. But should I be man enough? Then when I die, you come and bury me and be like, I should have opened up. I remember one time I was sick. Then I was lying in the room. Everyone was outside talking and all those stuff. I was severely sick inside the room. Someone came inside the room and asked me, how are you feeling? I said it's not better. You know, in our local ways, when they come and ask you, they expect you to say it's better. I don't know, in English maybe you say it's not better, but in the local way they expect you to say, oh, the treatment is going on well, it's better than before. But if you're not feeling better and they ask you to, because you are a man, they expect you. I just told them that it's not better. And when they came out, they actually felt like, oh, you don't have to say that, why should they say that? And that was when they actually really took my sickness serious. And then I realized that we should find a way for the boy child to actually speak up. And when you are down and there are no systems for the boy child to actually speak out, then in the nearby future there's nothing for the boy child.
I mean, an example is the University of Ghana Medical School students who committed suicide recently. I want to use this opportunity to send my condolences to his family and then their friends. But as we send our condolences, we should also know that as men, we are also humans too. We have emotions. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to break down and all this. But when you are going through those situations, speak up. Speak to someone. Speak to your friend. If you can't confide in your friend on campus, there is a career and counseling directorate on campus. Go there, speak to them, and they would give you advice. They would help you to be able to navigate through whatever you are going to. Don't take your life or don't do anything to yourself. Speak up as men. The career and counseling directories, they listen to men too. So when you are facing issues, just walk in there, speak to them, and then they would counsel you, they would guide you as to how to go through it, and you will be fine. I think it's a good thing that you are championing. So I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
So as at now you have graduated.
Yes.
What's the end goal? What's the end plan?
After graduation.
Yeah, after graduation, what's next?
So when I was home and I was trying to find my feet, to give myself hope, I ventured into this thing we call Cosmos Innovation Center, whereby they train young people to start their own businesses. So that was when I started an idea called Digi Farms. That's to link the ordinary farmers, that's the smallholder farmer, to market. That one didn't work out for the first year. That was when I was doing my steps in 2010. In 2024, whilst I was preparing for my exams and all those stuff, I joined KIC again to have started Milky Way. And in Milky Way, we are solving the issue of lactose intolerance. And we want to produce plant-based milk for people that can take in animal-based milk, like what's the name? Ideal Milk and the rest. That's when we started Milky Way. And today I'm on campus because I happen to have applied for UG in Kabul, whereby they are helping refine our business ideas to be something that can go into the market and solve the world problem. So for now, I'm looking at ways the business will thrive. Because even after graduation, I've realized that they tell us the job market is choked and we have nothing to do about it. So now is the time for us to actually take the path on our, to take to own our destiny, to actually see what we can build out of it, either through business or whichever struggle that we are looking out for.
All right, I think that's a good one that you are doing. And the team from Boys of Legon, we wish you well. We heard your story, and then it was inspiring, so we wanted to share it with the world, and then other students of UG who are probably also going through similar issues, that there is light at the end of the tunnel. When you have a receipt, own up, show up and write it. Life doesn't end there, and Wahab is an example for you. So Wahab, we thank you so much. We wish you all the best in everything that you are doing, and we are happy to take up the story anytime there are new developments. Just reach out to us, and then we would make sure we hear you.
Thank you very much. I'm really grateful for this opportunity.
Thank you, our viewers, for listening to us.